On February 28th, a political era ended. Ayatollah Khamenei is no longer alive. And when a leader who shaped Iran for decades disappears in the middle of escalating war, the world does not simply move on. It recalculates. We are no longer speaking about a single strike. We are speaking about a power vacuum inside one of the most strategic nations in the Middle East. We are speaking about a conflict between Iran and Israel that was already dangerous, now entering a far more unpredictable phase. History teaches us something important. When long-standing authority collapses during confrontation, stability rarely follows immediately. There is hesitation, there is internal maneuvering, there is pressure from outside forces waiting to influence what comes next. This is not just about Tehran. This is about the future alignment of the Middle East, about oil routes, about alliances, about whether this war expands or stabilizes. And as a leader from the global south, I do not watch these shifts casually. Because whenever global powers reposition themselves, smaller nations must prepare. My brothers and sisters, when a leader rules for decades, his presence becomes part of the structure of the state itself. Ayatollah Khamenei was not simply a political figure, he was the central pillar of Iran's ideological, military and strategic direction. Since 1989, he shaped the Islamic Republic's foreign policy, its posture toward Israel and the United States, and its deep alliances with groups across the region. Now that he is gone, the question is not whether Iran survives, the question is how Iran reorganizes. In systems where authority is highly centralized, succession is never simple. There are clerical institutions, there are military forces, particularly the Revolutionary Guard. There are political factions that have waited years for influence. Each of these actors now calculates its position carefully. The outside world will look for weakness. That is the reality of geopolitics. Israel will measure Iran's military response. The United States will assess whether deterrence has strengthened or weakened. Regional actors like Saudi Arabia and Turkey will quietly analyze whether the balance of power has shifted. But here is what many overlook. A power vacuum does not automatically mean collapse. Sometimes it produces consolidation, sometimes it produces a harder line. If the next leadership believes strength must be demonstrated quickly, we may see escalation. If internal stability becomes the priority, we may see a temporary pause in external confrontation. This moment is delicate. It is not only about who replaces Khamenei, it is about what message that replacement sends to the region and to the world. When war begins between two powerful actors, the illusion is always the same. Leaders tell their people it will be limited, controlled, precise, but history shows something different. Once retaliation begins, the battlefield expands beyond its original